We are also excited to show you new technology to help cover tomorrow's historic developments.
Our political reporter Chris Ty is live in the Interactive Election Center to give you a tour.
That's right, Joe and Erica, with so many stories bubbling up. Tonight, the question is, who has momentum? What is your gut telling you? Are you ready for this thing to be over? Well, in 24 hours, we are going to be able to put some numbers behind all of this and take this story to a whole new place. And one of the places we're going to do it is up to our Rotunda graphic at around 6 o'clock tomorrow, Chicago time. We'll get some numbers in, finally be able to chew on this a little bit more robustly as polls close in Georgia, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania. We'll have a closer look at the race for the White House. But of course, the balance of power in this country is not just about the race for the White House. It is about the U.S. Senate. And three of those big blue wall states we talk so much about also have pivotal Senate races. In Pennsylvania, Bob Casey trying to keep his seat against challenger Dave McCormick. Up in Michigan, Debbie Stabenow is leaving, so it's a jump ball. Alyssa Slotkin, the Democrat, up against Mike Rogers. We'll have those numbers all night long for you. And our friends in Wisconsin know this race all too well by way of the television ads, the flyers, and the door knocks. It's Tammy Baldwin trying to keep her seat as a Democrat against Eric Hovde. This really the pieces to a puzzle that look a little something like this as we put in perspective the U.S. Senate on this election eve. As we sit here tonight, the Democrats are in control of the U.S. Senate, but they have a harder road to climb to keep that control. Why? Because 38 Republican seats are safe, not up for vote tomorrow. 28 on the Democratic side. So they have to move a lot of ground just to stay neutral, to keep it by a 1-point differential. The question is, who will control these white seats in the middle? Those are the seats that are up for grabs tomorrow night. There are really kind of 9 pivotal races in the Senate that will likely control which party keeps or retains control of the upper chamber. Then there's the race, of course, for the U.S. House of Representatives. Quick civics reminder, every seat in the House is up every 2 years. These are the Illinois districts, and I want to draw your attention to this one in particular. It's the Illinois 17, runs very gerrymandered district here. It goes from Rockford over to the Quad Cities, down to Bloomington. Eric Sorensen is the Democratic incumbent. A judge from Northwest Illinois, Joe McGraw, is trying to take that seat back. In Indiana, right along the Indiana-Illinois line is the Indiana First. Frank Marvan is the Democratic incumbent. It's been a blue district for 40 years. Randy Niemeyer is trying to change that. So from the White House to the Senate to the House of Representatives, there are a lot of stories we will be following tomorrow night. And Joe and Erica, we have these new tools to tell a very complicated, important story in some amazingly new dynamic ways.
Yeah, it's such great perspectives, particularly seeing that balance there. If you could take us through, Chris, some of the battleground states. I know you have the capacity to show us Georgia, Pennsylvania, a lot of these places where they're making the last ditch efforts to get these voters.
Yeah, and we're working through all of that. As we work through tonight and into tomorrow, we want to make sure we have the mapping just right, because obviously in nights like this, people are watching this very closely. And as our night progresses tomorrow, we will walk you through the Georgias, the North Carolinas, and the all-important Pennsylvanias to set the tone for early in the night to see who has the momentum, who has the electoral votes, and see where this thing goes exactly.
All right, we are looking forward to it all. Thank you, Chris.